Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. We're back with some more exclusive content. Ariel, Jason, Leon, Pierre are joined by our good friend Ben from Hat Club. You may not recognize him. New beard, new haircut. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Pierre, take it away.
Listen, we thought this would be fun, man. Our starting five and a sixth man in the NBA. You can choose from anybody in the history of the NBA. We have to have a point guard, a shooting guard, two forwards, a center, and then a sixth man. That could be of any position on the court. We invited Ben because we know Ben's a huge basketball fan. Snapback God is also a huge basketball fan. We're all huge basketball.
He understood the assignments. You see, he came with a proper attire.
Damn straight.
I'm wearing a Celtics t-shirt, man.
Okay, you came okay. I'll give you that.
You know,
I don't own basketball jerseys because my skinny ass arms do not look right in tank tops.
I mean, neither do mine, but I still, make it work.
Same answer, but opposite. But I do own a lot of basketball jerseys.
You do, Leon, but yours fit awfully snug. I've seen some of your basketball jerseys; they are pretty snug.
So I do own them, but what Jason said, but opposite.
There's not a lot of people in the NBA built like Leon. Leon is a stocky lad. So, like
Oliver Miller, Chuck Hayes,
Oliver Miller,
Miller, baby.
Chuck Hayes, a couple, not many though, not many.
Robert,
definitely not in the current. Definitely not in the current.
Tractor trailer.
Yeah.
All right. So, which boxer would you be most built like, Leon?
Butterbean.
Yeah, I was thinking Butterbean too. That's what I was thinking. So, I have my trusty iPad here with all of my information that I've got ready for this draft. My depth chart. It's all set up. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Wow.
Are you guys ready to get started here?
I'm flying off the cuff.
Well, good luck
I'm
with
excited.
that.
I'm excited.
All right, so let's get this wheel up.
We got to do the draft lottery first. Figure out who's picking where.
All right, do we want to go last or first?
Last to first.
Last to first. All right. So who is picking last? It will be.
Are we doing our standard draft order after?
Jason. Fucking A.
But do you get the first pick? You're going to get the first pick of the second round, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Picking fourth.
Damn it.
Yes.
All right.
The worst spot to be in.
All right. Picking third.
These pieces are just getting bigger.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
50% at number 1 seed, baby.
Wait a minute.
And we're gonna do this one a little different. The winner of this spin picks first.
All right.
All right.
All right, since there's only two left.
Oh!
Damn it.
So
Wait, guys. Hat crawler. It can't be you get this because you have the last pick. You get the first pick automatically. I thought we was doing the other thing.
okay, what are we doing?
We're doing like where we all shift our picks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jason goes last, but then he goes first in the second round. And then it's Ben, and then me, and then whatever. Right?
Oh, snake style.
No, not snake.
Not snake. Last to first.
Oh, okay. So
And then you shift everybody. So that way,
should it be?
you want to do snake?
I don't know. What should it be? Like, what's the fairest?
Because
way to go?
so the issue with snake is the person that picks first goes 10 picks without picking again. At least with last to first.
That's the price you pay when you get Michael Jordan.
Last to first, at least the most you'll go without picking is five picks.
wow.
No, but we all get a number 1 pick eventually.
Yes.
Rounds.
Yes.
Yeah. Eventually.
All right, cool beans. All right.
The 6th round, though, we're gonna do the wheel again.
Okay. And go completely random.
There's 5 of us.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, are we picking any player in any order? You just got to fill out your team properly, or is like the first round?
That's part of this.
First round
is
strategy. Point guard. Okay.
Yeah, it's open. Open. You fill your team up, but your team's got to work in the end of it, though.
It's got to. You got to have all.
Pick is off the board for somebody else, correct?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, like, that's part of the strategy, right? Like, if you're gonna, like, if centers,
if there's a run on centers.
I mean, you might end up with Dikembe Mutombo. Not a bad pick, but
not a bad one.
Certainly
not a bad one.
Certainly not Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, or Shaquille O'Neal, but hey, it is what it is. Or Kareem. All right. So Ben's first, right?
Yes.
I believe so. I mean, it's kind of weird because the amount of my life I've absolutely hated this player, and I've been open about talking so much trash about him. Not necessarily his skills, but just how much he's pained me in my personal life being an Indiana Pacers fan. So without a doubt, number one is going His Airness, Michael Jordan.
Damn.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Pick two's hard. There's a lot of NBA players that end up on the second overall pick that don't end up well. But I will take Jordan's clone with the second pick. I'll take Kobe.
All right.
Interesting.
He's gonna pick Monks
Very.
from Toronto. Damon Stoudemire.
This is tough. So I'm third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy.
I really wanted Jordan.
Sorry, man.
I think everyone wanted Jordan. That just makes your team.
See, and the great thing about Jordan is I can swing him in with a small forward or a shooting guard spot, but more than likely I'll stick him at the small forward spot.
Really?
Really? Jordan?
Small forward? Jordan?
Jordan.
That's small, man.
He was
That's small.
interchangeable. But a lot of it depends on how the rest of my draft shakes out. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I'm gonna have a large gap in between my picks.
Yeah.
So that might shift my focus a little bit.
But you get pick 2 of the second round.
All right,
Okay,
I'm going. I hate this guy, man. So much like you with. I hate this guy, but
I'm already
I'm
typing
going
it
with-
in because I know who it is.
I'm going LeBron.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to.
Man,
I mean, you have to. I mean, I have no choice.
Yeah,
as much
you-
as I can't
you
stand
really
him.
have
I
no
mean, the
choice.
guy is like.
well, don't pick him
You
at
know,
all.
I'll take you through my. Can I take you through my logic though, just really quick? I think we should share sometimes, right? Like, I wanted to go Kareem, but I also know center is rather deep. So I know I'll be happy even if I was to get the 5th center, I'd be fine. I think it's like a tightly contested position, center. And I think it's very top heavy, but I don't think past 5 it starts to get a little weak. But I think the top 5 are great,
Yeah.
no matter who you pick.
And depending on how your team ends up, you can potentially go defensive and just,
No, I'm
figure
not
it out.
going
But
defensive.
we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, well, whatever. Snap, you're up.
Let's go with Tarantula. Kevin Durant, please.
Wow.
Yeesh, that's pretty early for a Durant pick.
No, that's not early for Durant. This man has assassinated a lot of folks. And he's long and he can shoot, block, and he can do just about anything on the court.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get 2 picks then. Then we'll go back around to Ben.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because I'll get the last pick of the first round,
Yes.
first
Correct.
pick of the second. All right. I'm going Magic Johnson.
Nice.
Okay.
So my point guard is locked up. I know you said center were deep, but I gotta take Shaq.
Okay.
Okay, can't make free throws.
Yeah, well, I don't care about free throws and the all-time great whatever.
I got to thank you, Jason, for taking Shaq because he was not on my radar quite yet, but I am going with the center spot. The 6-time MVP, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Shaq would body the shit out of him, though.
Not necessarily when you're throwing sky hooks from 10 feet
The
out.
sky hook was unstoppable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shaq wouldn't even let him get the ball.
I don't know, man. Kareem, like when you look at his numbers, they're staggering.
Yeah.
Staggering. And that's another reason why me taking LeBron isn't a bad choice. I mean, he's going to eclipse his points scored. I mean, that's crazy. 38,387 points.
Yeah, he's gonna become the second player ever in the next game to score 38,000 points, and he's gonna pass Kareem by the end of the year.
Crazy.
Look
He's
how
probably gonna do it by March, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's only gonna need about 20 games after that.
Yeah. Because what, a month ago or a few weeks ago, he surpassed like total points between regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, so the career record is only regular season, right?
But that's kind of an unfair stat just on account of the fact that, you know,
the
when
playoffs
Kareem was
are way
playing,
expanded.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Leon should be me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of places I can go here. I'm getting a little bit worried about the center depth already. So
wow,
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Hakeem the Dream. Lock
Smart
me
pick.
in at the 5.
he could dance circles.
He's probably the most underrated NBA player. I know everyone he's an underrated NBA. I think he's fantastic.
I have nightmares on when we
You
signed
hear
him
these
at
kids
39.
talking nowadays. They don't talk about Hakeem.
No.
Kids are idiots, man, when it comes to that shit.
The footwork.
Yeah.
Just unstoppable player. He was broken by the time he went to Toronto, but I'm taking the Rockets Hakeem.
Yep.
Listen, he was Mr. Fundamental. He was Mr. Fundamental before Tim Duncan. This guy was just incredible.
2-time quadruple double. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Insane. All right, you guys are gonna. I feel like the place where things get a little dicey for me. I'm going Oscar Robertson.
There you go.
That's a smart move.
The O-Dog.
And I'm gonna figure out if I want him at the point or at guard at shooting guard as we move along here.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like you're gonna get a pretty goddamn good shooting guard at some point down the road. So I mean, Oscar's still point.
He's listed as
good
a
space.
point guard.
Point guard, yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, so
now you get 2.
Now that my center is going to be available, I'm not going to pick my center. Only Pierre could probably pick my center, but I doubt he will. So
Is it
Robert Parrish?
No, nah.
You can wait to grab Bill Wellington later.
I know who he's talking about.
I'm gonna go with my point guard, the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry.
Fuck. I was surprised he fell that low.
Yeah, I gotta get him. And okay, power forward. Let's take advantage of the power forwards. Oh, power forwards. If I can go Celtics, I can go Spurs. Let's go Tim Duncan right now. Let's take
son of a bitch.
It's a really good one.
That was going to be.
So
my
who do you guys, Snap? Who do you got so far? Just to kind
of Tim Duncan at power forward.
No, total. Who's your first pick too?
Oh, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Tim Duncan.
It's a good squad.
Very recency. There's a recency bias to yours, but
well, you guys are taking all the vintage.
All right, whose turn?
Mine. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Karl Malone.
Ooh.
Over Bird?
Yep.
Over a lot of guys.
Insane.
Okay.
So wait, does that rotate back up to me?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Pierre just said my pick. I'm going with Larry the Legend.
That's Jason, you had a good draft so far. I think that was a miss, man.
No, I'm good.
You gotta take Bird over Malone, man. Bird was a better passer. Bird was a better scorer.
Great.
The only thing that Malone had on him was rebounding, and that was marginal too.
Yeah, I mean, you got McHale and Chief down in the paint. Bird didn't really need to rebound that much.
Yeah, but I mean, Bird was such a great all-around player.
Phenom.
It's mine, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now this is getting strategic. Strategic. I have Kobe and Hakeem. I feel like I'm going to be a little light in the 3-pointers. So I'm going to take a guy and slide him over. He might be slightly small to play small forward, but it is what it is at this point. I think he's a deadlier shooter than Steph Curry. I'm going to take his partner, Klay Thompson.
Wow.
Oh.
Lockdown perimeter defense.
Oh,
No.
Lockdown. So
Lockdown defense. Doesn't need the ball. Can play without the ball because Kobe's gonna be hogging the ball.
That dude
he's gonna knock down.
That is the worst pick of the draft.
Okay.
And you're sliding Klay over to the small forward spot?
Gonna have to.
Yeah, you will.
That's a terrible pick.
I feel like that
defensively there's no holes
at some point. I feel like Klay could have been a bench player at some point.
You could have waited for him. You could have waited till the end. No one was picking that guy.
Yeah. All right, Pierre, you get 2.
Thank God. I can bring some sanity here. I'm taking Bill Russell at the center.
Good spot.
Yeah.
I don't care about. I'm not looking for like 3-point. I don't care about that. I'm just looking for the best players, man. The best all-time players. I got LeBron at 1 forward. I got Robertson at the point. I've got Russell at center.
Who's picking?
Mine.
Okay.
I'm picking between Garnett and Nowitzki.
Mm.
I'm going Garnett.
So
Good call.
He would be your power forward.
Yeah, I have small. So just to recap, I have LeBron at my small forward. I'd have Garnett at my power forward. I have Russell at center, and I have Oscar Robertson at the point.
Oh, whoops. There we go. Some reason I accidentally put point guard.
Okay, so now it's my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the centers are gone, so I can save my center for last. Shooting guard. All right, shooting guards. Steph Curry is small, so I need something a little taller. Let's go Tracy McGrady.
Hmm.
Okay.
I got to chime in on that one. Say early pick. Way too early.
Me too.
Early?
Way too.
But as far as
out of all the shooting guards that are available, that's way too
No.
early.
Well, Jerry West. I know he's old, but Jerry West, you got a lot of choices that wait before you get to him. I mean, you got Dwayne Wade is a recent player that's better than Tracy McGrady.
The AI.
I wouldn't want to have Iverson and Curry on the same team.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Might be undersized, yeah, but
yeah.
All right. Next person, Jason. Oh, who's next?
Jason.
There's a couple of guys I want to pick. I'm not sure where to go, so I will just go with Dirk.
That's where I was gonna go. I had to pick between him and Garnett, man. That's a tough pick.
Yeah, yep. But I had a small forward spot open, so I can slide Dirk in there. So
Dirk
was a better overall shooter than Garnett, but Garnett's 10 to 20 range was just fantastic.
His intensity,
just a ferocious player.
Leadership.
Yeah. And defensively, he was fucking remarkable.
Sneaky 7-footer, right? No one really thinks of him as a 7-footer either, really, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Ben.
Well, I need a power forward and I need a point guard. So I'm a little conflicted on this one. I think there's a degree of razzing that's going to come with this pick. So
we're ready for it.
I'm going point guard spot. I'm going to take my first current player off the board right now, and that is.
Better not be CP3, man. Don't do it.
No, never mind. I'm gonna change my pick on this one. I'm going John Stockton.
That's a smart move.
I was about to go Russell Westbrook, but that is
Revenge
exactly
Brook,
the
though?
reaction I was expecting out of you guys if I would have called that.
Revenge. Russell Westbrook was a great player
I agree.
when he went on the Revenge tour.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know.
All right. Whose turn?
Leon,
turn, right?
Fill out your team.
All right. Man, I might have to go current here. I would have loved to see him play with Kobe. And he's doing stuff that he's breaking records right now. So fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Point guard, I'm taking Luka.
Wow.
Luka.
Kind of early, man. You guys are like
I fill up this team, man. I don't know.
we're drafting like teenagers.
All right. You got one more.
I get one more, and I'm finished, right?
Then you're done.
Okay. I'm gonna round up my team with another current player.
Wait. What pick are we on now? The fifth. We're on the.
So this is the
fifth
first pick of the 5th round.
Okay.
So
Right.
I have my power forward spot open. There was a bit of a run on the power forwards last round, with a lot of the vintage stuff is off the table. So I'm gonna go current as well. I'm gonna take the Greek freak, Giannis.
Whew.
I mean,
You guys are getting
your
the
team.
children's vote.
Your team could prove to be an all-time good team, but I think it's just too early on a lot of these. All right, Pierre, finish out your team.
All right, I'm gonna go point guard. Shooting guard. I'm gonna go Iverson.
Good one.
Good one.
So I'm sitting at so Leon, why don't you round out? Why don't you go through your top 5, your starting 5 again, just so we have a little recap here.
Yeah. All right. So my point guard right now, Luka Doncic. Shooting guard, Kobe Bean Bryant. Small forward, Klay Thompson. Power forward, the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then center, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Okay, so I picked after Leon just now, right?
Yep.
So I have at point guard, I have Oscar Robertson. At the shooting guard, I have Iverson. My 2 forwards are LeBron and Garnett, and Russell at the center.
Now, it's my turn.
Yep.
Guys, you wanted vintage from me? You ever heard of a guy that scored 100 points a game? How about Wilt Chamberlain?
Good one.
He also banged 7,000 chicks.
Yeah, he did.
He was playing against part-time players, but okay.
We have the plumbers argument, plumbers and electricians argument.
We can't flex in and out of that argument though, because we like to argue against.
Yeah, I know.
That, right?
Yeah. He did change the game.
Listen, I'm
still funny.
So my center, Will Chamberlain, 100 points, banged 100,000 chicks. Power forward, Tim Duncan, Mr. Double-Double himself. Small forward, the assassin, Kevin Durant. Shooting guard, Tracy McGrady. And my point guard, the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry.
McGrady, you could have picked if there was 20 rounds. You would have gotten there.
Okay, yeah, I get you. But I like T-Mac was a great scorer and defender. A lot of people say their favorite player is Tracy McGrady, a lot of NBA players. So, I mean, you know. Jason.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who I want at the 2 spot. Yeah, I think because I wanted Dr. J, but he's not going to fit in here. So I'm going to take because he's technically a small forward and never played shooting guard. Although in today's game, he probably would be a shooting guard. But I will go with Dwayne Wade.
Good one.
So my team at the point, you got Magic Johnson. At shooting guard, you got Dwayne Wade. At small forward, you got Dirk. Power forward, you got Karl Malone. And that center, you got Shaq.
Yeah,
What did you say about Dwayne Wade? That he's a forward?
No, shooting guard.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, he's a shooting guard. I thought you said he was a forward.
No, I have Dirk and Malone at my forwards.
Gotcha.
Back to me for the final pick.
Yep.
Final pick.
Oh yeah.
All right. So surprising, this power forward is still left. So
Wait, hold on. What's wrong here?
Wait. Time out. This is for the six man.
No.
This
his
is
pick.
Oh, this is fifth. Okay.
this is my So I'll just go top to bottom, and I'll finish it off with my last pick here. So obviously, because I picked Larry Bird up, so he moved down to my small forward position. So Michael Jordan at the shooting guard, Kareem Abdul just at the center, Larry at the small forward, John Stockton point guard, and to finish off my all NBA Hall of Fame team, my power forward is going to be Charles Barkley.
Of course it is.
Oh,
You had to.
So
All right.
a bunch
No, you
of
had
dudes that hate one another, but somehow they're going to be winning championships.
Right.
together.
Right.
They definitely did hate each other.
They're not going to talk to each other at all. It's going to be a mute team.
All business, baby.
And you got four of the dream team on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you could have went you could have went Dr. J or Barkley, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was actually contemplating Elvin Hayes in there, but I feel like Barkley, because he's interchangeable between a small forward and a power forward, is just like utilization long term was probably better on his behalf.
I thought you might have slid Jordan and Bird down and moved and got a shooting guard from your team, but I'm surprised you did that.
You can't really
Why
put Jordan
wouldn't
in.
you? Barkley's a top 20 player and top 25 player in the history of the game. Like I think, like
You
you
can't
go
really
there.
put
No,
Jordan.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying
It's
that's
a
one of the
stretch
thoughts.
to put
That's
Jordan
one of
at
the
a
thoughts.
forward, though.
Yeah,
Jordan was
definitely.
Jordan was a
He would have been a
shooting guard.
small three. He would have been a small three. For
No,
sure.
no doubt.
Yeah, but Jordan always played. He was a shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Yeah, he
shooting
played
guard,
throughout.
or
You always had
maybe
a
point guard,
3-point
yeah.
shooting point guard next to him. You had him.
Yep.
You had Pippen, right? You had Horace Grant or Rodman or one of those big guys at the four.
Right.
Kukoc. Then you had what's his face? Whatever dumb center they had.
Luke Longley,
Longley
Bill
or
Arrington.
Longley.
Someone to catch
Or-
all the misses.
Bill Cartwright.
Yeah.
Cartwright was the
Okay.
one that was most prominent, right? It was probably most of the
Right.
years.
Absolutely.
But he
Right.
always
Right.
had
Yeah.
one
Charles
hard
Oakley
nose.
for him, so
He always had one hard nosed power forward, like Horace Grant or Dennis Rodman. You know.
Mhm.
Well, Horace Grant was like more of a. Yeah,
Oakley.
Horace Grant was still a power forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was an
Rebound, but he
undersized
had
one,
good-
but he was definitely a power forward.
But he shot a
All
lot
right,
of
so-
mid-range.
So we're doing a reorder and pick our sixth man?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what
let's
you
do
wanted to
that.
do?
Yeah, I think it should be
All right.
fair. Because now
so
we're
it's-
out of order again.
Yep. All right. So picking their sixth man will be
This is last to first, right?
nope.
First to
We're
last?
going right now.
Okay.
Snap. Pick
Yes!
your sixth man.
All right.
Well, I doubt that you guys would have picked him, but I'm gonna pick him because he was amazing. His name is the Admiral. He also had a quadruple double. David Robinson.
nice.
That might have been your best pick so far.
I don't know.
All
man.
right.
I think if you're going the center route, there's someone I would have taken before him, but that's just me.
All right.
All right. Next sixth man. Leon.
Kyle Lowry.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna just pencil him in. Or
No.
DeMar.
I'm gonna take Kyle Lowry's teammate. I'm gonna take Kawhi Leonard.
Wow.
Oh, okay. If you would have said the DeMar DeRozan,
The claw.
If you're a 20-year-old Raptors fan, you're gonna love Leon's draft.
He's banking on those almost 3 million people from Toronto to back him up.
Defense, playoff intensity, will not shy away from the big moment. 2-time champion, Kawhi Leonard.
it never plays. Only on.
Well, we get peak player.
All right.
T-Mac didn't play a lot either.
I mean, when you talk about the all-time greats, you definitely talk about defense. All right. Pierre, who's your sixth man?
Break it off.
I got third pick both times. It's tough, man, because I had most of my guys are gone now. Fuck. Shit, man. I'm taking Jerry West.
It's a good one.
The logo.
You have to. I mean, the guy is like, he's a top 20 all-time player, and no one picked him yet.
Yep. All right. It's down to me and Ben, and it will be Ben.
Are we picking more after this, or is this it?
No, this is it.
This is it,
Okay.
man.
I mean, that puts a lot more unwanted pressure on me here. So,
Just basically pick the best player that's hasn't been picked yet.
I mean, my brain goes in like different directions on this because of the fact that it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of great players that are still left. But then again, as far as going with an actual 6-man position, that's kind of what I'm leaning more towards. So give me 1 sec. Let me get one more scan.
Manu Ginobili.
No, like I hate the fact that I'm not going to pick Reggie Miller, and he's my favorite player of all time.
I know. Listen, honestly, Ben, just now I was picking between him and Jerry West, but Jerry West was so much higher up in the all-time sort of.
You can pick Reggie Miller.
No, I can't do that. I'm going to go wild card on this one, and Pierre knows where I'm coming from on this one. I'm literally going with the greatest 6-man of all time, and that is Mr. Dennis Johnson.
Wow.
Whoa! Wow.
I mean,
hey, you stuck to. Listen, I will say this: that's a risky pick, but the rest of your team is fucking solid.
So, exactly.
Hey.
All he's doing is just coming out, just filling in for somebody.
I was saying that looking at your list, I was saying you need a scrapper.
and DJ is definitely a scrapper.
He's a scrapper. I said he needs a scrapper.
The other funny part about it is the other player I was like debating on, and a lot of it has more to do with how short his NBA career was, and sky's the limit for him, and that was going to be Drazen Petrovic.
Oh yeah, from the Nets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great shooting guard.
Dude,
yeah.
that guy was a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very underrated player. Another one from that era that I would have loved to see play their career out would be Reggie Lewis from the Celtics.
Oof.
Yeah.
Reggie Lewis was taking over the mantle from Larry Bird, and he was becoming that key player in Boston before he passed away. And boy, that guy was becoming electric.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
right. That's it, right, guys?
Well, Jason.
No, I still got to pick my Jason. I was just waiting for you guys to name some more names so I could filter down my
scouting. Yeah, he's doing some
scouting. He's just like lurking.
Yeah,
he's lurking and listening.
Yeah. But actually, I'm going to select the only guy left in the top 20 that hasn't been selected yet.
Oh.
And the godfather of the modern NBA, 3-time MVP, Dr. J. Julius Erving.
You said you wanted him. You ended up getting him at the end.
Yep.
That's a good round out there, I got to say.
I love the way he played the game.
All right, so here's the two things we got to do.
It reminds me a lot of myself, actually, is what, in my playing days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So here's what we have to do, guys, right? Number one is we have to recap each of our drafts. We're each going to say which person's picks we would want. and then we're going to go over our ideal starting 5.
Cool.
Sound good?
Oh, ideal starting 5. Okay.
So
I have a feeling a lot of those are going to be the same.
It might be. I think there'll be some
Yeah.
differences. So mine, I had at point guard, I had Oscar Robertson. That guy was he averaged a triple double his career almost, right? Or he did. Like guys,
First season he did.
First season he did.
Yeah.
But
First
he's
season
got
he
the
did, but the
second
guy
most
was just a
involvement.
triple double.
He was close.
Triple double machine.
Mhm.
At shooting guard, I had Allen Iverson. My 2 forward positions are LeBron and Garnett. Bill Russell at the center, the most winningest player in from a championship perspective. And coming off the bench, Jerry West. Not too bad. Got a little solid little lineup there. All right, Leon, yours?
Point guard, Luka. Shooting guard, Kobe. Small forward, Klay Thompson. Power forward, Giannis. Center, Hakeem. And my 6th man, the Claw, Kawhi Leonard.
See, I have a feeling Leon's going to win this because all the kids are going to vote for Kobe.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I think I think this is going to shake out differently. I don't know. I think like our viewer base is a little bit older.
Okay. We'll see.
My only thing with Leon's draft is there's a lot of new there. It's not like a real
but it's hard to project Luka. It's hard to project Giannis, where they all kind of.
And we can project Clay. We know.
But I mean, I will say between Giannis and Clay, you got a lot of rings there. So
yeah.
Well, Clay worries me.
Clay's carrying the load of it, but
Giannis has one.
He's a perfect glue guy, man. Like I think a lot of what the Warriors owe their success to is Clay.
Right, but we're not talking about a glue guy. We're talking about like the best all-time players. But listen, that's the only. I like your team. I just think
that's how I want to construct it.
I think Clay was your miss. I would rather had Kawhi there than Clay.
Yeah, ended up getting Kawhi anyway.
I know, but I'm just looking at your team.
Yeah.
I would have picked Kawhi over Clay. That's for sure.
Jason, your team.
Let's see. Where am I at? As point guard, we got Magic Johnson. Shooting guard, we got Dwayne Wade. At the forwards, we got Dirk and Malone. At center, we have Shaq. And then my 6th man is Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Okay. Not too bad.
Nice.
All right, Ben, you're up.
All right, so shooting guard, Michael Jordan. Center, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Small forward, Larry Bird. Point guard, John Stockton. Power forward, Charles Barkley. And my 6th man, the greatest 6th man of all time, Mr. Dennis Johnson.
Yep.
You literally have the starting dream team.
Yeah.
Except
I have you guys to thank for allowing me to just swing back around and pick these guys up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, yeah. I really think my team will work the best together.
We don't care about that, though.
No complaints. No ball dominant players. So we got Will Chamberlain at center.
You have all ball dominant players.
No, listen.
Check how many assists he had.
Well,
in that
especially
100-point
your shooting
game.
guard is pretty ball dominant.
Yeah.
Well,
how many assists did Wilt have in that 100-point game? How many assists did he have?
I think like if that's your contention, Snap, like my team probably has more career assists than anybody else's team.
Yeah, but I'm LeBron's gonna look at Oscar Robertson
as a team I'm talking about.
He's got Stockton, MJ, and Bird, who are all pretty good passers.
Stockton, who, and Bird?
But LeBron has
Michael
a lot.
Jordan.
LeBron, Robertson, Garnett, and Iverson.
Who's going to control the ball here? Allen Iverson's going to want to shoot every shot. Then Kevin Garnett's going to be pissed off. And what are you talking about? Like, what is
Kevin Garnett was team player.
Allen Iverson doing? And
he
then
LeBron
and Oscar Robertson are going to be like, who's gonna be the playmaker? Is it going to be me or is it going to be
anytime you're picking a team that's all time, right? And you put together all these things, you're going to have egos and stuff. This is about
all right.
This isn't like what you do with the animal draft where you
Yeah, break down your team.
Real quick. Let me break down my team. Will Chamberlain at center. Tim Duncan at power forward. Kevin Durant at small forward. Tracy McGrady as shooting guard, Steph Curry at point guard, and David Robinson as my sixth man. All of these guys.
No, great draft, except for McGrady.
Okay.
Except for you drafted
Brady's my
three
only red
centers.
flag in that one too.
You drafted 3 centers.
3 centers where?
Yeah.
Oh, Will Chamberlain.
Robinson, Chamberlain, and Tim Duncan. I don't care what anybody says. Tim Duncan was a center.
I got Steph
Yeah, but Tim
Curry.
Duncan, when he played with Robinson early on, he was a power forward.
He was listed as a power forward. They were both centers, though.
The Twin Towers.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So whose team? So let's go around. So Snap, if you had to choose somebody else's team, who would it be?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna choose Ben's team. I just feel Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird. I mean, Larry Bird went to the 3-point contest and said, "Hey, who's gonna come in second place?" And,
I gotta blame
the
Jason for the
warm-up
Larry
jersey.
Bird one. He took Malone before Bird. Damn it.
And then John Stockton was, I mean, golly, the assist, the hustle, the heart. Yeah, I mean, I'm going Ben. I'm going Ben.
Stockton was a defensive
Yeah,
hole.
and I mean, when you got those other 4 guys to take all the shots, Stockton knew his role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He wore the tightest shorts ever.
But
That was the style, man.
Jason changed the trajectory of the draft, I believe, when he took Malone over Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy move.
I like Malone.
No, listen.
He's like
we all like our.
He's one of the all-time greatest scorers ever.
No, I totally agree with that, but I don't think Karl Malone was on anybody else's radar for this entire draft.
He should have been. He's a top 15 player of all time.
Malone, I would put over Barkley, though. I would.
Yeah,
I would.
If I was given the option, I definitely would have taken Malone over Barkley. But
yeah. All right, so Snap, that's who you picked. So Ben, whose team would you pick if you had to pick?
Give me one sec. It's hard. Honestly, I'm leaning more toward Pierre.
Okay.
Just a lot of championship pedigree in there, and LeBron and Kevin Garnett in the paint is frightening. Even though LeBron's always got long distance shooting in his repertoire as well, but when you have Iverson and Oscar covering the perimeter, yeah, it's and then Russell's just going to be there to the easy dunks and the rebounds, but even more importantly, it's like he's going to be fighting with Kevin Garnett and LeBron. So
yeah,
you got yourself a good squad there.
Yeah, and you said before, Snap, you said that I would have Iverson at the point guard. It was Oscar Robertson.
No, I didn't say, no. I said Iverson would want to take every single shot, which would upset Kevin Garnett. And it's like, what the hell am I? And Bill Russell would not.
It wouldn't upset Kevin Garnett. It would upset
Garnett and Russell were not offensive minded like that.
No.
But he's
it would upset LeBron.
LeBron and Oscar would be like, who's gonna be who's the ball dominant in this situation?
Oscar would have gotten along fine.
I just think Iverson's not gonna show up to practice. And he's going to piss off the rest of the teammates, and it's just going to break up the team.
Well, I guess it depends on who the coach is, too.
It does.
As long as it's not Larry Brown. You get
Jason,
Chuck
who you got?
Daly in there.
I'll take Ben's team, mostly for nostalgia purposes. I grew up watching basketball in that era.
All right.
MJ, Bird, Barkley, yeah.
Leon, how about you?
I think whenever you have Michael Jordan on the team, you almost have to take Michael Jordan. But I think if you were to slide around the positions and seeing how it would work, I think Pierre's team is really scary if they were to work it together. But like just the position flexibility, LeBron could play 1 through 4. That's a scary team.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a team, I'm going to surprise you all. I would take Snap's team.
Wow.
Now, when you hear it back, like it's aside from McGrady, right? McGrady, it's funny because when I was watching McGrady, he was known as a ball hog. He really was. He was known as a guy who he was a scorer, but he wasn't like someone that I think people truly enjoyed playing around. He was a ball hog. But the rest of your team is
But just
pretty
imagine
solid.
the length of Kevin Durant and Tracy McGrady trapping one of these other, like a John Stockton, and they wouldn't be able to get a shot over them.
KD doesn't play defense.
The problem is with your team, though. I'll tell you what the problem is with your team. Tim Duncan would slow the game down. And all of you have a lot of scores there, but like they'd be slowed down with Tim Duncan, like, you know, in the center with it. He was just like, he's a guy that, like, you guys think about it, right? When you're watching the San Antonio Spurs at that time when Duncan was at his prime, that was almost unwatchable basketball. It was unwatchable. It was so slow and methodical. And I really believe Tim Duncan ushered in, it was part of like the worst era in basketball because it was so goddamn slow. But
they were successful at it, though.
Yeah.
I do agree. It was terrible.
There was only like two players picked that I don't think even belong in this conversation.
I mean, if you're criticizing Clay, I think he just fits the team and the need. It may have been a little early, but for what I wanted to build, I think Clay fits right in.
When you think about it, right, like Klay Thompson, and the two people I think were McGrady and Klay Thompson for me.
Yes. Yep.
Like you
Those
had like,
two.
if you look at the sixth men that were picked, right, and those should have been picked over those players.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though. That's what you pick it. You pick the way you want to pick. So now let's do this, guys. Let's start with you, Snap. What would be your dream starting five?
My dream starting five would be Hakeem Olajuwon at the center position.
Yeah.
I would go with. One moment, I'm looking right now. Again, I'm not going to back down from Tim Duncan at power forward. I'm going to go with LeBron at the small forward, Michael Jordan at the shooting guard, and Magic Johnson at the point guard.
Okay. Ben, how about you?
It's kind of funny because my starting five is essentially what my all-time starting lineup would be. The only replacement I would have in this would probably be take Charles Barkley out and replace him with either Kevin Garnett or Tim Duncan. Actually, I'll go Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Just because of the power forward position that he played for so many years. I mean, even though, as we talked about earlier, he's a technical center, but it's like in that regard, if I'm going to slide over another center, then it's just like, screw it. I'm sliding Hakeem Olajuwon in there instead.
Nah, makes sense. Jason, how about you?
I'll do Magic at the point. Sorry, Kobe fans, but I'm taking MJ at shooting guard.
Ooh.
Yeah, small forward, I'm taking LeBron. Center, I'm taking Shaq. And power forward is the one that you could go really any direction. But for the sake of him bringing a championship back to Boston, I'm going with Kevin Garnett.
Okay. Leon?
I'm very similar to Jason and Snap. I'm going to take Magic at the point guard, Jordan at shooting guard, LeBron at 3, Duncan at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5. And just bully ball everybody.
All right, mine's a little bit different. I'm gonna go the one staple. I'm going Jordan at the shooting guard. I'm going Curry at point guard.
Wow.
I'll explain in a minute. I don't like Steph Curry, but you cannot deny this guy's dominance. Hakeem at the center. My two forwards are Bird and LeBron. Now, the reason why I don't go Magic at the point is because I really do feel like Bird and LeBron are point forwards the way they play. So for me, like, I feel good having those two at the forward position. And obviously LeBron would be the power forward between the two. That would be mine. So Jordan, Curry, Hakeem, Bird, LeBron.
Am I the only person who did not put LeBron in his top 5? Or starting 5?
I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
you have Bird.
Yeah.
You have Bird over LeBron.
Just like life.
The two current players, the two players on mine that I can't stand are LeBron and Curry, but I can't deny it, man. For me,
LeBron.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best small forwards of all time.
Just having him on your team and just being able to slide almost anywhere is what
he
makes
could
him
be
so
anywhere. He
valuable.
could play
Yeah,
1 through 4. He could play 1 through 4, man. He could play 1 through 4.
An unmatched athleticism, I think.
Magic played 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
All in the same season.
that
That was all injury related, though. He had to.
Yeah.
He was the tallest guy left on the team, so he had to play center.
He was what, 6'9", 6'8"?
Yeah,
6'9",
6'9".
I think.
Ridiculous. The
he
amount of
was
ball
6.
skills
He was
has.
6'9", but 6'9", but like, listen, like he's not playing center. Like, I mean, like,
No, he wasn't doing it daily. No, but he was a fill-in.
yeah.
And he did in
When
the
Kareem
finals.
was- Yeah. Listen, I mean, you can't deny the greatness. You know what's awesome about it's interesting. Like when you look at the top 100 players on these lists, though, like you're like, once you get past 50, you're like, who the fuck? You know, it's interesting, right? Like it's not like Major League Baseball. There's a lot less players, right? So like, it's not like Major League Baseball where you do a top 100 list and you'd be like, man, these are all legends. When you get past like number 50, you're like, it's tough to like really. There's not as historic a list as there is in like baseball. You know,
I think they just do a top. No, they just did the top 75, right?
Yeah. Well, they just added 25 to the 50. Basically.
I know. I
but
thought
even
they
when you
redid
go
it.
through and just look at anybody's list, there's so many publications that have done lists. Like you just start after you get past 50, you're like,
yeah.
It's like
well, like you said, there's a lot less players, right? Like you
And
said,
there were some players too on that list that were from so long ago. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard to project out
championships.
Like
Every one
Dolph
of them is there.
Shays.
what's that?
Like Dolph Shays.
Yeah.
Like I had never even heard of some of them. Like,
Yeah.
And then how does Carmelo Anthony make that team?
I mean, he's an all-time scorer.
All-time scorer.
Yeah, I guess.
Top 10.
Anthony Davis.
You know
was the
what
biggest
Carmelo
question
is?
mark.
Carmelo's kind of like Carmelo, like another guy that we didn't talk about, but like I think is just amazing. And I would try to fit him on if I had like a 10-man team here. It'd be Dominique Wilkins. He's another guy that was just an incredible scorer, but not necessarily known for the winning. You know.
Problem with Dominique is like after he left Boston, his career trajectory just took a nosedive.
Yes.
Well, after he left Atlanta.
No, I
After he
mean,
left
even
Atlanta.
in Boston, he still had some decent years, but it's just like going to the Clippers and going to the Spurs.
He was fucking terrible with Boston, dude. He was terrible. I think once he left Atlanta, it was over.
Sometimes it's hard to
Because he
project
didn't
out
have the same leaping ability.
if you're mixing current and vintage players too, so it's like impossible to know almost.
Yeah, because I mean, if there's one guy who, I mean, if we're talking about as far as greatness and, era aside, that I would have potentially thrown in there would have been like somebody like Bob Cousy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, probably one of the greatest point guards ever, just based on the fact that he was a player coach, and as a point guard, I think he won the most rings, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just like,
but you look at his game, and that's the hard thing about doing these.
Totally.
Is like you throw him in today's game, and he's a role player at best.
Let me ask a question. But we know this is the argument I always have, right? Is like people say that, and I get it, right? But I also if those players were provided the same opportunities as players today, science, training, video, all this stuff, the advancements that you don't know, there's no way to normalize it. So you just have to go by what they were in their respective eras.
Right.
Yeah.
But to your argument, though, on the flip side, is there's a lot more players playing basketball today than there were back then. So even with the same opportunities, would they have even risen to the top to even make it in the league? It's like it's both sides of the coin, right?
It's hard, right?
That's why I'm saying you have to challenge.
Yeah, that's why comparing eras is impossible.
I'm gonna
It's
give you
impossible.
somebody ahead.
I think some years. Go ahead, Snap.
I'm gonna give you somebody ahead of the time that I would have picked Pistol Pete.
Yeah,
Pistol Pete.
he was in the back of my head for the same reason that Drazen Petrovic was going
his
to be on my
career
list.
is too
It's just
short.
like career cut short.
Yeah,
I think there's
Somebody
some
else
years you
wanna-
can still.
Somebody
Go
else
ahead,
want to
Ben.
throw in there too. And if we're talking about like European players, because the fact that Giannis, Dirk, and Luka ended up on here, Arvydas Sabonis. I mean, the fact that his NBA career started so late, just because the fact that the Russian government didn't want him to come over.
Yeah, he was
and play in
30
the
some
NBA.
when he played started in the NBA, right?
Yeah,
He was
but
in his
even at
30s.
that, he was still pretty. I mean, he kept Shaq at bay for a lot of years, and
Well, look, he's a big dude, man.
he's probably one of the greatest
what's
passing
next?
centers of all time.
I think Jokic is probably going to take that that mantle soon in terms of like the best passing center, because that guy can fucking pass. But
I agree with that.
I do think like there are some eras that can still be compared. Like you can't go back to Russell versus now, right? You can't go back to those Celtics teams versus now.
No.
But like the folks that try to say that Jordan couldn't survive in this era are smoking crack.
Yeah,
they are smoking crack.
People are saying that?
Nobody worked harder than that, man.
People do say that. You're not.
He wouldn't be able to survive now.
Yeah, they say that.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Michael Jordan would have survived any era ever.
I hear
he would.
I hear
he
a
would
lot
have figured
of the
because
other
he
way.
would have figured it out and he would have worked on it to be able. He was just that. That was his personality. He was not going to lose, no matter what.
You're 100% right. But
way.
also, I think Jordan, even he wouldn't have to adapt. He would just be him in this current league. Like he was. First of all, the whole reason why Jordan had to transform himself was because the game was more physical then. So he was forced to transform into into a much more physical, stronger player. And the rules adapted a bit. I get it. I hear all that. I get it. But Jordan today, you put him on the court right now. In my opinion, he's the best player in the NBA right now. You put him on the court right now, like in his prime. You put him right now. Don't tell me otherwise. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. The guy was magnificent. And LeBron could survive in that. And people say LeBron couldn't survive back then. Yes, he could.
He would.
LeBron would have been just as good back then as he is now.
Yeah.
There's certain players.
You hear the argument the other way when they say like the
that
current
LeBron couldn't make
enough.
it.
Like they wouldn't be tough enough for the old one.
LeBron is physical. LeBron is a physical specimen. He would have been fine. There's certain players like LeBron, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan. It didn't matter. Karl Malone too. Charles Barkley. It didn't matter what era they were in. They were going to be successful. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
There's certain players that no matter what era you place them in, they'd be fine.
Oh yeah,
and they would thrive.
Tim Duncan's the wild one out of that because of the fact that the man didn't start playing competitive basketball until he was in the middle of his high school years.
Yeah, but Ben,
and the fact that he developed into such an amazing Hall of Fame, multi-finals winning champion.
Yeah,
and it's just like, goddamn, why?
But Ben, I stick to my assertion. He was part of the reason why the NBA. I really truly believe this. He's part of the reason why the NBA had to rebrand and figure their shit out, because they ruined that Spurs dynasty ruined basketball in fans' eyes, unless you're in San Antonio, because it became so fucking boring and methodical.
Yeah.
I want you to go back and look at it. I think that Spurs team was responsible.
Rick fucking Barry loved those teams.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, it was that if you think about the eras, right? And when it really went downhill and the NBA started to struggle, it was that 80 to 75 basketball that started, and it was them. It was fucking them. They were the Lennox Lewis of basketball. Lennox Lewis, the boxer.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they were. And it's like, it is what it is, but he was a fantastic player. All right, guys, this was really fun, man. This was good. We got to do something like this for baseball next, you know?
Ooh.
But Snap, I don't know if Snap knows baseball. Do you know baseball, Snap?
Up until the early 2000s.
All right.
So I guess you're going to be our cheerleader. So, no, Snap, you did a great job, man. I actually picked your team.
So I love NBA.
Yeah, so I want to thank you, Snap. I want to thank you, Ben, Jason, Leon. We did I think this was fantastic. This was a really good time. And with that, Leon, big fella, take us away.
Yeah, make sure you guys are dropping a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Viewsfromthevault.com to get your official merch from us. For Ben, Ariel, Jason, Leon, and Pierre, we're signing out, guys. Stay fitted.
See you, everybody.
Peace.
Brought to you by VFTV.